When Milwaukee was the machine shop of the world, the Menomonee Valley was its engine. But even before then, the Menomonee Valley was 1,200 acres of wetlands and home to several Native American tribes. And when they traded with the city settlers, the Menomonee Valley became the origins of commerce.
Potawatomi were here for hundreds of years and always congregated around the rivers because that was a source of transportation and it was a source of food with the fish and the wild rice. The Menomonee Valley was the beginning of the city of Milwaukee. That's where the commerce was.
When industry arrived, high bluffs were torn down to flatten the valley and business boomed. But when it left behind unemployment in the surrounding neighborhoods, deserted buildings, and contamination to the soil and Menomonee River. It became a brownfield and an eyesore.
You can look at those smokestacks and reflect on Milwaukee's industrial heritage, one of the strongest manufacturing cities in the United States, in the world. And then you look, that's what's surrounding those two smokestacks is Milwaukee's future.
Today, the Menomonee Valley is home to a number of new businesses and others that have long made the valley their home. In just 10 years, 4,200 jobs have been added. Sustainability guidelines have been created and followed. Native species have returned, and the valley has seen a rebirth.
Critical to the success of this was to bring in the right stakeholders, potential stakeholders, who would get engaged and would be committed to transforming the valley.
Here at work in the valley is governmental agencies, government itself, non-government, not-for-profit, and for-profit enterprise, all working collaboratively, once again, all working through a very strong coordination through MVP, but bringing success.
To achieve what has been done so far has taken vision, collaboration, and perseverance.
Well, the plan, first of all, had a number of obstacles, not least of which was the public perception of the Menomonee Valley as a place that wasn't necessarily a good place to do business, and it was hard to get to, and that it had an environmental legacy that left it less than desirable.
It was not a pleasant place, and this was where many people who came to Milwaukee saw this for the first time kind of out of their car window, like, what is that disaster area down there?
First and foremost, we needed to raise the entire shop site, which is about a 150-acre site, out of the floodplain of the Menomonee River. An average of 6 feet was added in terms of height, and most of that fill came from the Market Interchange.
In the very early stages, it was agreed that by all the participants that we needed to have a plan for the valley. And one of the things that was important to us is to make sure that there was a road that went all the way from 6th Street out to Miller Park.
Built alongside Canal Street was the Hank Aaron State Trail. When it opened up, it became the first Wisconsin state trail in an urban setting, and it gives the community access to the natural resources around it. Though native plants and animals have now returned to the valley, the environmental damage was severe. The Menomonee River was polluted, and the valley faced serious flooding issues.
What the stormwater park does is it treats the stormwater centrally, so you can actually build out on your property a larger building and more parking because you don't have to account for some type of on-site stormwater management because the stormwater park takes care of that.
Well, we had a very large storm a couple of years ago. And the real question was, will this stormwater park that everybody had invested so much time in would actually work? Well, it did work. The stormwater park performed.
Now the Menomonee River is known for its great fishing. Field & Stream even named it one of the top 20 urban fishing areas in the U.S. And efforts to treat the stormwater runoff and use of recycled materials have made the Menomonee Valley a national model.
The Sierra Club recognized it as one of the top 10 projects in the United States.
It's surprising to me how fast the wildlife and the environment has improved.
Today, the Menomonee Valley is a vibrant home to a variety of businesses, entertainment venues, and wildlife. The result is a dynamic community that not only supports but enhances the city.
Milwaukee really has a very rich industrial heritage, and so does Harley-Davidson. And so when we were looking for a site to build the Harley-Davidson Museum, the Valley made perfect sense because it really is the historical industrial hub of Milwaukee.
A number of our employees ride their bikes to and from work. We do take lunch hour walks. We do have folks that have their fishing gear right in their offices and have actually thrown a line in, especially when the salmon are running.
Our employees love our location. There's a renaissance occurring in Milwaukee. The Menomonee Valley is at the heart of that. And who wouldn't want to be there? I mean, it's the place to be.
And where else can you go and actually fly fish in the morning and then go take a ball game in the afternoon and literally not have to leave?
Now we're kind of a good gateway to the city with the innovative stormwater park and with the amount of green space that coexists with businesses.
The redevelopment of the Valley really keys in on bringing jobs back to the city of Milwaukee, most importantly to the people that surround the Menomonee Valley.
If we're really going to make a difference in the city of Milwaukee, then more people need to have good family supporting jobs.
One of the big successes that we've had is that we've made the Menomonee Valley a community, not just the adjacent neighborhoods to it, but the whole Menomonee Valley a community.
Immediately when we moved in, it was we had the neighbors coming across the street asking us if we wanted to join in their barbecue. It's not just about having a place to work, but being able to work in a place that you're proud of, and that is a part of the community.
So you had really a textbook example of what can be accomplished if you have not only a viable plan, but the means to execute that plan, the political will to execute the plan, and an organization that was able to bring all of those players together, keep the machinery moving, and make sure everybody stayed on task and within the context of what their task was.
We've seen an incredible cleanup and restoration of what was Wisconsin's largest and most visible brownfield, to wonderful open space and parks and trails, but importantly for the community, new opportunities for employment.
The vision and the completion of the long-term plan for the Valley is basically the rebirth of the Valley. And I think the Valley in the near future is going to be doing what the Valley did 175 years ago, which is to be a center point, a point of commerce, a point of an attraction for Milwaukee. And we're glad we're back.
In just 10 short years, the changes to the Menomonee Valley are remarkable, but the continued vision and plan for its completion will make the Menomonee Valley even more so. The goal is for the Hank Aaron State Trail to provide connections to the greater Milwaukee community, making job opportunities and recreation accessible. Moving forward, a branch of the Urban Ecology Center, a community and environmental education center, will open here. Multi-purpose fields will be created to support youth and family activities, and the Hank Aaron State Trail will be extended.
Well, it's important that the vision for the Menomonee Valley is finalized and complete, but it's also important that we as the businesses participate in that completion.
You can build something, but if people can't get to it, it doesn't really serve the public. There are over 300,000 people that live within a 15-minute bike ride of the Hank Aaron State Trail.
There's a lot more that needs to be done to bring it to its full capability as a community asset.
I think the partnership with the Urban Ecology Center is what's going to bring us full circle here into having a place where the kids can go and enjoy it and appreciate what is there.
If you have enough people, enough organizations, enough governments, businesses who really put their mind to something, to roll up their sleeves and to cooperate for the betterment of a project, then it can be done. And I think that's what's happened in the Valley.
Together, we can create a place that truly benefits all members of the community and that will continue to benefit the community well into the future.